Hello friends, welcome back on the channel of Clinical Care Insight. We have started a series of lecture on gastrointestinal gram-negative rods. Until now we discussed about our first pathogenic bacterium called as the Salmonella. Salmonella is also gram-negative rods. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss about one of the famous bacteria which is a part of our normal flora. Which you already studied from your previous classes. That's called the E. coli, and full name is the Escherichia coli. So what things we are going to study about the Escherichia coli in our today's lecture. So here is the lecture's outline. First we will deal with the introduction. Okay, then we will discuss about what are the fundamental characteristics of E. coli. Then we will discuss about their morphology, means their appearance, how they exhibit, you can see a shape and size. Also, what are their antigenic morphology, what are their, you can say, the laboratory, we can say the colony morphology, which we all are going to see in the heading of morphology. Then we will discuss about the various strain of E. coli. Okay, and after discussing the strain, we will discuss about how they enters in our body, okay, and how they generate, you can say, diseases, how they causes a various signs and symptoms of diseases. That's called the pathogenesis. Then we will discuss, okay, fine, now the person is suffering from the E. coli diseases, fine. Then how can we diagnose that this diseases is specifically, you can say, consequence of the E. coli, you can say E. coli pathogenesis. So that are going to discuss in the lab detection. Then we will discuss about the clinical manifestation, means once a person is suffering from the E. coli. Okay, so what are the changes is happening in the, you can say, the diseased person or suffering person. That's called the signs and symptoms, in which we are going to discuss in the heading of clinical manifestation. And at last, after discussing all these things, we will discuss about their treatment and prevention. Fine. So make the heading E. coli, or also called as the Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli. Now, about their introduction, the Escherichia coli is, first of all, it's a gram-negative bacterium. What it is? It is a gram-negative rod. Hope you are clear with the gram-positive and gram-negative. Basically, there is two bacterium. Okay, they are differentiated on the basis of taking the gram stain. Fine. So it is a gram-negative rods. Another characteristics about this Escherichia coli is that they are a part of our normal flora. You know that inside us, inside a human body as well as the other organisms, there are certain bacteria, or you can say there are certain microorganisms, okay, which are living peacefully without disturbing us, and sometimes they are, you can say, contributing in our maintenance of our physiology, so regulating, or you can say modulating our immune system as well as our digestive system, respiratory system. They are present all over, you can say, all over the body. Fine. And this bacterium, E. coli or Escherichia coli, is a part of our normal flora. But the question is, fine, it is a part of normal flora, but which location it is located? It's a part of normal flora. But this E. coli is present in where? It is present basically in the colon region. Now the questions you may thinking, okay, fine, this E. coli is present in our, you can say, colon, and it is since it is a part of our normal flora, then how can it cause a disease? Yeah, how can it cause a disease? It causes a disease when you acquire their, you can say, virulence strain, when you acquire their abnormal type. Fine. Generally, in normal healthy individuals, these E. coli, they are a part of their normal flora, but these normal flora sometimes acquire certain strain, okay, or basically you can understand they acquire certain modification in their genetic material and they become the pathogenic bacteria, okay. So their pathogenicity, a disease causing capability, pathogenicity pathogenicity is depends upon their virulence factor. Virulence factor, and which a healthy person acquired from a diseased person. Okay, which is acquired by a healthy person from the unhealthy person, from the, you can say, this E. coli bacterium suffering person. Now, the second question is that, fine, this Escherichia coli is generally living normally in us, and this shows the pathogenicity when there is a changes in their genetic material, and thereby they synthesize some of the virulence factor, some of the virulence strain. Now, which kind of disease it is causing? Yeah, generally, as far as this gastrointestinal system is concerned, they are contributing in the diarrheal diseases. Basically, they are causing the what? Diarrhea. They are causing a diarrhea. Okay, both the type. Remember, they're causing both the type of diarrhea. Now, what are the types? The one is inflammatory diarrhea. Inflammatory diarrhea. Yeah, and another one is called as the non-inflammatory diarrhea. Non-inflammatory diarrhea. Now, we all suffer from this diarrhea, isn't it? We all suffer from the diarrhea in our life. And inflammatory diarrhea are a bit a dangerous diarrhea, because here there is a, you can say, bloody diarrhea. Okay, blood is present in the diarrhea, so they are basically a bloody diarrhea. Whereas if we talked about the non-inflammatory diarrhea, as the name suggests, they are not involved in causing the inflammation. Fine, so they are generally causing a mild diarrhea, or you can say the watery diarrhea. Which kind of diarrhea? Yeah, it causes the watery diarrhea. And now you know that if there is involvement of inflammation, if there is involvement of non-inflammation, it means both of the diarrhea management will be different, isn't it? Both of the diarrhea management will be different. But you have to understand certain more things about this bacterium. They becomes more dangerous. They become more dangerous when it's spread to the other organs. When it's spread to the other organs. Remember about the normal flora. Generally, normal flora are the non-pathogenic organisms, generally. But whenever they are displaced from their normal location, when they are displaced from their natural location, okay, and they causes a disease. Suppose this is present in the colon, okay, and by the, you can say, their overgrowth, okay, you can say the reproductive rate, they may spread into the blood, okay, and via the blood they goes to the other system. If suppose it goes to the, you can say, the urinary tract, okay, they causes the different diseases. You probably heard about the cystitis. Cystitis is basically an inflammation of bladder. Fine, they are also, you can say, in the neonates, one of the strain of the E. coli, they are causing the neonatal meningitis, a disease which we can say affect the layer of the brain, or you can say the meninges of the brain. Fine, and they also affect the kidney, referred as the pyelonephritis, which we are going to see in there, you can say, the secondary spread, or also called as these category of diseases which are you can say not present in the gastrointestinal tract. They are affecting the other systems. They are basically called as the extra-intestinal diseases. Yeah, they are called as the extra-intestinal diseases. Means, apart from causing the diseases in the gastrointestinal tract, okay, whenever they spread to the other organ, they cause the gastrointestinal diseases. And two notable examples you should remember. The one is cystitis, another one is pyelonephritis. And apart from the cystitis, pyelonephritis, they are also causing, you can see, inflammation in the brain layers. That's called as the neonatal meningitis, which is mainly a newborn is affected. Okay, newborn is affected. Now, Once having said all these things about the Escherichia coli, the introductory part is finished. Now let's move and discuss about their characteristics. Now, let's you tell what can be the, you can say, the characteristics of this bacteria. Yeah, there are certain common characteristics, which you have to use while you are writing the exam. You have to use, because you cannot remember all those, you can say, microbiology are vast subject, fine, and there are, you can say, various specialized subfield within the microbiology. Understood? So you have to use certain, you can say, tricks to remember all these, you can say, plenty of a vast knowledge, a vast, you can say, content. So since it is a, you can say, causing a gastrointestinal discomfort, okay, these bacteria are mostly, if talking about the respiration, they are mostly a facultative anaerobes. What they are? They are facultative anaerobes. Write it down. Facultative anaerobes means they can live in both the environment, aerobic as well as the anaerobic, means presence of the oxygen or absence of the oxygen. Got it point? No problem. Now second thing, as if we talked about their you can say classification, they are the gram negative. They are gram negative bacteria. Got the point? No problem. Now, the another characteristics about this bacterium is that they, when they, you can say, take their nutrition and they adhere on their nutrition, they are basically producing the lactic acid. So lactic acid fermentation is done by the E. coli bacterium. Lactic acid fermentation. Another characteristics which already seen, it is a part of our normal colonic flora. Which flora? Normal colonic microflora. No problem? Now, the another characteristics about this bacterium is that they are producing certain, you can say, antigen. They are producing the antigen which are the virulence antigen. I am now talking about the pathogenic characteristics. So one of their pathogenic characteristics is that they are producing the antigen. Okay, and these antigens are basically a pathological antigens. Fine, pathological antigens. Apart from that, certain E. coli bacterium, okay, certain E. coli bacterium, they producing the endospores. Okay, they producing the endospore. Endospore. Now, these endospores, they are highly, you can say, toxic. A more disease, more, you can say, worse disease they are causing. Fine. So this endospore, if we talked about their management, they are basically causing a bloody diarrhea. So in the management, you don't have to use the antibiotics, okay, because there is a chances for the hemolytic uremic, you can say, disease, okay, hemolytic uremic disease. And that's one study that shows that in the case of E. coli, you are not allowed to use antibiotic unless until there is a severe condition. If there is a severe conditions, you have to go with the broad spectrum antibiotics. You have to go with the broad spectrum antibiotic, but generally antibiotic use are restricted as far as the management of E. coli is concerned. Now the question arises why, isn't it? Why? Because if you are using antibiotics, these bacteria are very clever, okay, or you can say more specifically, they are, you can say, master in the art of being resistant towards the antibiotics. Yeah, let me repeat it once again. So what to repeat it? Antibiotic use are restricted, okay, or use are limited in the case of E. coli management. Then question is arises why? Just because these bacterium, they are highly you can say master in the art of being resistant towards the antibiotic. So antibiotic resistant capacity is way higher as compared to the other gram-negative rods. Got the point? No problem. But during the, you can say, severe conditions, you have to go with the antibiotic, a selective category of broad spectrum antibiotics. Fine, no problem. Now this is about their characteristics. Well, let's summarize it. What we studied: they are a facultative anaerobes, they are a gram-negative, okay, and they producing the lactic acids. Okay, they producing the during the fermentation, they producing the lactic acid. Okay, and they are a part of our normal clonic microflora, and they produce both the antigen as well as the endospores. Okay, and antigens are less virulence as compared to the endospores. As compared to endospores are highly virulence. Okay, and another thing is they produce the antibiotics, and these antibiotics are there is a limitation in the using of antibiotics. Okay, limitation in the using of antibiotics, because these bacteria, they develop the antibiotic resistance sooner. Okay, no problem. Now, once having said all these things about the E. coli characteristics, now let's move ahead and discuss the morphology of E. coli.